To select at 3 or not to select at 3? That be the question. Stick around. You're about to be locked in to this mock draft episode of the Locked On Patriots podcast.
You are Locked On Patriots, your daily New England Patriots podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello to all of you Foxborough faithful, and thank you once again for making Locked On Patriots a daily part of your New England Patriots coverage and also your first listen each and every day. Remember, Locked On Patriots is free and available on all platforms, including YouTube, so smash that subscribe button, download, subscribe to, follow Locked On Patriots wherever you get your podcasts. And of course, folks, today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Pats fans, thank you so much for joining us here today on Locked On Patriots. I am your host, Mike Debate, and I cover your New England Patriots for Patriots Country of Fan Nation. So reach out to me and let me know what's on your mind on X at MDABATENFL. While you're out there showing some social media love to Locked On Patriots, please follow our account there as well at LO_Patriots. And here today to break down 3 amazing mock drafts is the Count of Murphy Fisto himself, my good friend Thomas Murphy. Thank you for coming to me in friendship on this mock draft Monday, Don Murphy.
Happy to be here, Michael. Happy to be here. Always, you know my motto. Happy to be here. Hope to help the ball club. Let's get into it.
Absolutely. We are going to get right into it, folks, because we've got 3 great mocks that feature Patriots quarterbacks or potential Patriots quarterbacks. And that seems to be the argument right now, Murph. We're hearing all different kinds of reports over the course of the last couple of weeks about whether the Patriots are going to be locked into that number 3 pick or whether they are considering moving it. Up until a couple of days ago, looked like the Patriots were considering all options and that they were actually even strongly considering dealing that pick, trading down and maximizing that value. Recent report coming out of Sports Illustrated said that the Patriots are not looking to budge at number 3. Nothing to their liking that they've heard so far, and that they're willing to stay at 3 in order to get the quarterback they believe can be their signal caller of the future. Well, our first submission today comes from Caveman Curtis, and it comes via email. Before we get into the haul that Caveman Curtis submitted here, he did submit some trades, and to run down the trade recap of what New England has received, Caveman Curtis has New England trading with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he has the Patriots sending the number 34 pick to Jacksonville in return for a 2024 round 2 pick at number 48, a round 3 pick at number 96, and a round 4 pick at number 116. But the Patriots are not done yet, folks. He has the New England Patriots, Elliot Wolf dialing up his old mates over there in Cleveland, and coming away with Cleveland's number 85 pick in round 3. He has the Patriots shipping 96 that they just got from the Jacksonville Jaguars, and of course their own number 137 off to Cleveland and coming away with number 85. So the Patriots with number 48, number 116, number 85, and the rest you all know. And Murph, if you noticed, he keeps number 3. The Patriots not going anywhere, and they select quarterback out of North Carolina, Drake Maye.
Yeah.
Murph, we're hearing a lot of fluctuating reports regarding the number 3 pick. We're also hearing a lot of fluctuating reports as to who's going to be taken where when it comes to the top 3 quarterbacks.
Right.
Up until recently, almost been a foregone conclusion that Caleb Williams was going to go number 1 to the Chicago Bears. Washington had almost locked into Drake Maye, and it was almost a foregone conclusion that the Patriots would get Jaden Daniels at number 3. That has since changed with the signing of Marcus Mariota in Washington. A lot of people are thinking they may want to go more of a like-for-like type of skill set when it comes to the quarterback position, meaning that Jaden Daniels could be their pick. If Drake Maye slips to number 3, I know you've been vocal about it. I've been vocal about it. I'm with Curtis here. I think this is the move to make. I don't think the Patriots trade if Drake Maye is sitting there at number 3.
Yeah, I think he has the highest floor right now. It's If May's there, I can't see the Patriots passing on him and dealing the pick. Questions about Daniels, but I'm not sure that they have questions about Drake May. I think they'd like to get him a little bit further down, but we all know that that's not going to happen. Um, if they love May, then they're going to have to make the pick there and take him. I'm not sure if they love him. I think they like him more than anybody else in this draft.
In terms of Minnesota now, and we talked about this, Murph, close out the week last week, and Minnesota wheeling and dealing a little bit and picking up the number 23 pick to go
Right.
along with their number 11 as a possible package to move up. According to what is coming out of New England right now, the Patriots, if they're not going to budget 3, it's going to mean that they're going to have to either move to 4 when it comes to the Arizona Cardinals, or
Yep.
the New York Giants might be in the mix, or eventually Minnesota is going to do their due diligence and what they have to do to try to move up, because word has it that they would love to get either Drake May or JJ McCarthy in a
Right.
Vikings uniform to pair alongside that very talented wide receiver core that they have in Minnesota. If they're not going to go at number 3 and May is there, I just don't see the Patriots laying off it. So when Drake May is available at number 3, I can definitely see the Patriots doing this. Of course, Murph, the Patriots made a little bit of a trade acquiring number 48, and they do
Yep.
go offensive tackle here. Kingsley Sumasha out of BYU. This is a pick that I think the Patriots would be aggressive, maybe a little over aggressive on at
Right.
34. I think at 48, this is good value for what they need, especially considering now that Michael Wainu is going to be locked in at right tackle. The reports
Right.
coming out on Monday that they've pretty much settled in there. I like this value here at 48.
Yeah, so do I. Putting Onweyu out there at right tackle, keeping him there, um, eliminates the pressure to go out and find 2 tackles in this draft that are going to be able to contribute this year, one right away, which kind of kills me, to be honest. It kind of kills me. But I like Kingsley here. I think it's a very good value pick at 48. I think 10 picks earlier, 12, 14 picks earlier, it would have been pushing it. It might have been a little bit of a reach, but I like it right here. I like his style. I like what he brings to the ball field, and I think that he could be a quality left tackle in the NFL for quite a long time.
Yeah, without any question. And look, bottom line, the Patriots have a clear need there. We all know about the need at quarterback, and I know fans are clamoring for it, and we're hearing all about the need for wide receiver, but Patriots are not going to be able to have those guys look decent in a Patriots uniform without keeping them upright. Murph and I have said that several times, especially Murph has said that several times, and I think Kingsley is a good pick here. This is interesting. And at number 68, the Patriots going wide receiver here, and they're going with a familiar face to Drake May. If you're going to bring Drake in, Devontae Walker out of North Carolina coming in to be the wideout. What do you think of the synergy between these two Tar Heels?
I think it'd be fantastic. Let's just keep it rolling. He's somebody that May is wholeheartedly familiar with. So yeah, I like the dip. It's a little fantasy footballish, but what the hell? At 68, I'm gonna roll those dice.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you roll the dice at that point? And you know what? Familiarity is such an underrated portion of trying to get a quarterback to succeed in this league. I mean, obviously at a different level, and I'm not comparing this, but you saw having someone like Jamar Chase there for Joe Burrow, what that did for him, and being able to have that type of synergy, a guy he played with in college coming into the pro game and being able to utilize him as a not only a solid weapon, but also someone that he could rely on, and he knew the tendencies. Still say the Patriots could have done a better job doing that with Mac Jones, and I think that could have made a little bit of a difference in his abilities. But Mac is now a Jacksonville Jaguar, and the Patriots need to fill that quarterback room, and they need to
They
fill the
do.
receiver room with capable help. Maybe this is a lesson, and the Patriots do surround whatever quarterback they bring in with at least one familiar face, so that way he's got a little
Yeah.
bit of familiarity heading into 2024.
I like Walker a lot. He's far from the top echelon here in this draft. But as you said, he's somebody that's familiar with them. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. He can vertically stretch the field. He has ability to put a lot of stress on defenses to cover deep, and that'll only help, this Patriots offense and Drake Maye, if he's the pick, to start working underneath and get me some yak.
Absolutely. And we're going to get back to Yak in just a moment from Murph here, but wanted to just switch gears for a moment because there were a couple of defensive picks in this draft for the benefit of those of you that are listening to this podcast as opposed to watching it. Curtis does go ahead and bring in two defenders. He brings in Chris Abrams-Drain, a cornerback out of Missouri, at the number 85 pick. That was an acquired pick throughout the trades that we mentioned earlier. And then, of course, Miles Cole from Texas Tech, the edge rusher. Two guys that I think are capable of making impacts with the Patriots as reserves. I don't think you're moving the needles here with starters at either position, though.
No, not at all. These are depth guys. These are guys that are going to come in and be projects, and maybe contribute in a rotation this year. We all know that in the past, Bill has liked to give guys that redshirt season, sitting behind somebody else and learning. I think Mayo is going to be more feet to the fire and get these guys some time in here. I like Abrams Drain. I do. I think it's a fantastic pick. And then of course Miles Cole down there on the edge. He's somebody that will fit in nicely here. You know, under the wing and tutelage of some fine edge guys that are already on the roster and signed for one more year.
Absolutely. Very, very good point. Always solid analysis, Murph. Thank you very much, my friend.
Yeah.
And we're going to get back over to your yak. We're going to get back over to the offensive side of the ball because we want to round out Curtis's draft completely here. Obviously, he did make a number of other offensive picks, starting with number 103, Marquise Irving, the running back out of Oregon, and number 116, another acquired pick, going with wide receiver Jalen McMillan out of Washington. He also brings in an interior lineman from Illinois, Isaiah Adams, and then the tight end at number 231, AJ Barner. Of the names that I've just mentioned, Murph, anybody stand out to you as a potential, I don't want to say needle mover, but a potential impact player in year one?
No, I'm sorry. I don't see anybody making an impact here. I like AJ Barner. Isaiah Adams has some upside there as a run stuffer, but other than that, he doesn't get after the quarterback a heck of a lot from what I've seen. It's been limited, folks. So, don't quote me on that. But no, I don't see anybody that past 116 that's really going to make much of an impact this season.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I mean, a name that pops out, and we've talked about him a little bit before, is Jalen McMillan out of Washington.
Right.
I think a lot of what you saw may have been a product of him working with Michael Penix. But look, the kid's got a solid resume, 2,119 yards, 158 catches, 16 touchdowns. Not really a backfield carrying threat. Only 5 carries for 35 yards, 1 rushing score. Got some nice size, nice speed. He's 6'1", 197, so he's a much bigger slot than the Patriots are used to employing. He's got a very good break speed, but at the same time, you're not looking at someone that's going to really, I think, leap out in year one.
No.
And bottom line, the Patriots are pretty well settled in the slot with Mario Douglas. I think the only way I move him or you move things around a little bit is if you can get your man Ladd McConkey in that spot. So overall, Murph, we are at grading time. Caveman Curtis, what grade are you giving him for this mock draft?
This is an A- draft. It's a solid draft. Don't take that minus as a kick in the teeth. Please don't. We've had some fantastic drafts this year. I do not grade on a curve, and but no, this is some solid work. He hit on every position of need. We're just going to have to see if these guys are going to work out and if they're going to be there when he thinks they are.
Absolutely. Very well said. And look, there was a lot of maneuvering around the board, but when you play the board the way it's given to you and you're able to walk away with some pretty good talent at a lot of positions of need, you're doing something right. I as well grade Caveman Curtis an A-. So a tip of the cap and thank you for submitting. But Murph, you know what? We're not done yet. We're having some fun here, but the fun is just beginning because an old friend
get better after Captain Caveman.
Well, wait until we see this. Murph's blood pressure may raise when he sees this next mock draft coming from an old friend. That's right. Our good buddy John Costy is back this year.
Oh,
First submission
hey,
for
John.
2024. John is definitely one of our all-stars from 2023. Can he keep the tradition going? Did he go quarterback? How are the Patriots going to fill all those positions of need? We're going to take a look at what John had to do with his board when this episode of the Locked On Patriots podcast continues, a proud part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Every day.
Locked On listeners, passion, drive, and patience is what brings home that winning trophy. You know what? It's also what keeps your ride or die alive. Our good friends over at eBay Motors have everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. From superchargers to roof racks to exhaust kits, LED headlights, and so much more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber and not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to turn your car into the MVP and bring home that win. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. Patriots fans, thank you once again for joining us here today on Locked On Patriots. And of course, if it's Mock Draft Monday, it is also hashtag Locked On Murph Monday. And I am joined by the Green King of Sting, the monster master of disaster himself, the legend Thomas Murphy. And Murph, in the previous segment, we had some predictable picks from Caveman Curtis. Drake Maye going at number 3.
Nothing
a lot
wrong
of
with
people
that.
have, not that there's anything wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it at all. But in any case, there were some unconventional picks. There were some that we went through. And bottom line, the New England Patriots are going to have to play the board as it lies. Because as much as we all may want to predict what picks the Patriots are going to come away with, almost no one is going to be able to predict it from start to finish flawlessly. Kind of like those Field of 64 brackets right now that everybody's filling out. But trading is something that can sometimes raise the interest level for Murph, or it can raise the ire. I think we're about to walk that fine line very, very closely, folks, because our good friend John Costy is back. John submitted several mock drafts last year. A few of them we featured right here on Locked On Patriots prior to the 2023 draft. Well, John is back, and he's back in a big way this time, and he's maneuvered around the board pretty well. John has 3 separate trades here. He has the Patriots shipping off the number 3 pick. So obviously he's not subscribing to the SI version of this. He's going with some of the previous reports that say the Patriots are still listening to offers on that 3 pick. The number 3 pick goes to the New York Football Giants. In return, the Patriots get the number 6 pick, a second rounder at number 47, a first rounder in 2025, and a second rounder in 2025. I'm going to have you grade the trades in just a moment here because we're going to go a little bit further.
Okay.
He also does not have the Patriots standing pat at number 6. The Atlanta Falcons come calling. And apparently there were one too many 28-3 jokes because the Patriots shipped the number 6 pick over to Atlanta. They come back with the number 8 and a first rounder in 2025. So the Patriots stockpiling weapons for next year, not really going all in. The Patriots are not done yet, Murph, because the Minnesota Vikings are calling with that number 11 pick that they want to trade up for number 8. Obviously, they want J.J. McCarthy, or they want Jaden Daniels, or Drake Maye may have slipped a little bit. But bottom line, this is what they're looking to do. They send the New England Patriots the number 11 and also another first rounder in 2025, and they come away with the number 8 pick. So that would leave the New England Patriots picking for the first time at number 11. And folks, before we get into their pick at number 11, and those of you on YouTube can see the pick already, we're going to reveal that in just a moment. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much of a headache do you have from all these rates?
This one goes to 11.
And the
This
Patriots
one,
get a number 11. That's
and
pretty ironic. Yeah.
pretty ironic there. Uh, dude, you're killing me. It, some amazing moves here, some fantastic moves here. This is the draft to do this in, but listen, you got greedy. You got greedy. I'd like to know who went a little bit earlier than this. Um, I'm grading the trades on whole as an A.
Hmm.
Okay, but in looking at this draft, I give it a C because I'm not in love with Troy there at number 11. I'm really not. You passed up on some generational talent here, and you came away with a very good pass blocking left tackle. That I believe some people believe needs to be moved into guard, but I don't. Um, a very good pass blocking left tackle, but he's a little limited in the run game, and that gives me pause when I want to um, establish a new regime, a new offensive line outlook on this team, and it wasn't really backed up anywhere in this draft whatsoever. So yeah, it's but the trades you've got he gave the Pats 4 first round picks in next year's draft. So that gives them the ability to go get another quarterback if they don't end up liking Michael Penix, who you took where in round 3.
Yeah.
Okay, see, this is where I have the problems. Okay, Tyler Nubin is not going to be there. All right, Tyler Nubin is going to end up going, and I understand, folks, that you've just got to see the forest for the trees here, and I know that we say that you have to draft the board that they give you, but this talent is not going to be there, and that's what's going to bring down his final grade. Tyler Nubin is not going to be there. Lad McConkey is not going to be there at that pick. Michael Penix Jr. is in no way, shape, or form going to be there in round 3 at 68. It's just not going to happen. And we're not done yet. There's another trade.
No, there we are, not done yet, folks. For those of you that thought that the trades were completed, they are not completed. Trader John is doing a great job here of
Yeah.
working this board in terms of trading. I mean, really, he continues to. I said last week that
I
LJ lived
I
without
think
a
this
stitch
is
of fear.
Danny Ainge. I really think John is Danny Ainge.
Channeling his inner Danny, no question about it. But he has the Patriots receiving the number 71 overall pick in round 3, shipping off number 103 and a third rounder in 2025.
Yep.
And with that number 71 pick, he has the Patriots selecting Johnny Wilson, wide receiver out of Florida State.
Right.
Again, I think a good move in terms of trying to maybe build up some depth along the wide
Yep.
receiver core. Probably not a needle mover,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
someone that I think can
fantastic.
contribute.
I'm looking at this draft, and it's fantastic if I end up getting all of this.
Hmm.
I just don't see that happening. I really don't. Johnny Wilson I do believe will be there. It's fantastic the amount of top 100 picks that he's put together here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 top 100. That's a beautiful thing. But it's just whether or not these guys are going to be there. I don't see. I just can't see Lad McConkey lasting to 47. I can't see
Yeah,
Tyler Nubin getting to 30. It's 34, right? I'm old. I can't
yeah.
see.
Round 2,
34.
34 with Tyler Nubin.
Nubin is going to be gone in the top 25.
Hmm.
Without a doubt, he would have to fall 10 spots, and this kid is not falling 10 spots. There's a bigger chance that he climbs 10 spots than falls 10 spots after what he was
Yeah.
able to do
And
at
that's
the
such a
at the
good
combine.
point. Members of the secondary, defensive backs, have a tendency to climb as opposed to decline during a lot of the latter part, especially during team workouts, especially
Right.
during pro days. Bottom line, folks, I mean, ultimately, yes, John is playing the board, and I give him
Right.
credit for doing
I,
that, and I give him credit for living without a stitch of
and
fear. But
I give him credit for grabbing Luke McCaffrey there.
yep, Absolutely.
That's a great pick. Luke could actually be there, and I would be happy with Luke McCaffrey there. I'm willing to roll those dice on that legacy kid. Um, eh, the tight end that he got, Tip. I mean, that's another fine pick. And Curtis Jacobs down there, he is a very underrated player. I think that that was a fantastic grab. I really don't think that he was just saying, yeah, last pick. Okay, let's just go with Mr. Irrelevant
Mm,
here, Curtis Jacobs. That was this is a great draft. Don't get
yeah.
me wrong, folks. If this could possibly happen, I would do cartwheels up and down Main Street, Middletown, for the foreseeable future. Okay, to get Michael Penix in round 3, to get Fautanu, that there. Yeah, I still think it's a little early, but Newman, McConkey, his first 4 picks are out of this world.
Mm,
Okay, if he ended up doing this, I mean, with the exception of one, in the first 4 rounds, I would be ecstatic. I
mm.
really would. The first 3 rounds, I'm sorry, I
Yeah, I
would be
think we all would.
ecstatic. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, again, folks, I mean, it's the difference between playing the board the way you've got it and being able to translate it into reality. That's where some of the grading comes in, and that's where I think our overall grade is going to come in as well. And Murph,
Right.
we are going to offer our overall grades in just a moment, but I want to come back to the tight end pick for just a moment. I actually wrote about Tip Ryman for Sports Illustrated over the weekend. Obviously, with the signing of Austin Hooper and the re-signing of Hunter Henry, the Patriots have 2 tight ends that are capable of going out and catching passes without any
Yep.
question. But the one void they have on this team right now is a blocking tight end. The best blocking tight end they had is now in Seattle in Pharaoh Brown. And
Right.
Pharaoh did an excellent job last year. If you're looking for a pure blocking body at the tight end position, Tip Raymond is the guy that you want. 6'5", 271 pounds. I referred to him as, quote, sizable yet developmental. He's not going to win you a lot of games in the open field, folks. He only caught 19 passes for 203 yards and 3 touchdowns in 12 games for the Illini last year. But this is where he leaps off the page to me as a blocker. Massive frame, drives his blocks.
Yep.
This kid has amazing leg strength and very, very good lower body mechanics. That's to me what's going to make him a good pro because he can withstand initial contact, including the
Right.
type that he's going to see at a pro level. So I think that is translatable to the professional game right away. He can take on the double team. We've seen him take on
Right.
combo blocks several times during his time at Illinois. Got to learn a little bit better hand placement. That I think is going to be something that the Patriots are
And
going to
he
have to
dropped the
coach
ball.
him up on. And he does drop. He's not going to be a guy that's going to be
Right.
reliable out in the open field. But if you can get him and he slips to round 6, and I'm the Patriots,
Yeah.
I
In
absolutely
round
get
6,
this kid
I
because,
am.
yeah, because they can do so much with him in
Go
terms
ahead,
of a blocker.
work with him, see what develops. The tape that I watched of him, he actually a couple of times he reminded me of Rob Gronkowski because of the way he snatches balls off his shoestrings.
Mm. Yeah, he
He
does.
just picks those low ones up. It's like he's playing second base or shortstop out there. I like this pick. I'm with you on that. And so yeah, yeah, no, no, no.
Mm. Absolutely.
It's a nice grab there.
Definitely. And agility for a guy his size, too. Ran the 40 in 4.64, not wide receiver time, but when you compare that to a
No,
tight end of his size, that's impressive. So, Murph, we're at grading time. John Costy trades, working the board no matter what he did. Penix in the
yeah,
3rd round. What's your overall grade for John on his first submission for 2024?
yeah, it's a B. You get a B. The rules are that you play the draft that they give you, and you went out there and you did really well. I thought you got a little greedy on the trades, and you traded back just a bit too far to stay out of the sweepstakes for game changers
Hmm.
that you needed to get in the first round.
Yeah.
Okay, you got a game changer in McConkey there, and you might have a game changer in Penix, but in the first round, that's not a game changing pick at tackle.
So I'm actually going to give him a B plus on this one. I agree with Murph on this. I think that Fautanu, Nubin, McConkey, Penix, all probably a little bit aggressive. I think Fautanu could be had for number 11. I don't think that's beyond the realm of reality. But when you start getting into Nubin, McConkey, Penix, I think they're off the board by the time that you made these picks, John. But again, I'm going to give him a B plus because I like the Ryman pick, and I just think that for the Patriots' need, especially at tight end, to pick him up in the 6th round at number 193 is good value. So I'll add the extra plus on there. But a tip of the cap, John. Thank you so much for your submission. Thank you for being an everydayer and a valued contributor. Keep them coming because you never know. You might get one shared again here on Locked On Patriots. And Murph, we're still not done yet, bud, because we got one more mock draft from a member of the mock draft Mount Rushmore here on Locked On Patriots. And of course, we gave LJ a little love last week. We gave Fairway a little love. Got to give some love to our man Sully. Jason Sullivan submits our final mock draft, and it's going to be a good one if Sully's behind it. Murph and I are going to break it down top to bottom from number 3 all the way down to number 231 when this episode of the Locked On Patriots podcast wraps up right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Did you know that even if you have a 401k for retirement, you can still have an IRA? Robinhood has the only IRA that gives you a 3% boost on every dollar you contribute when you subscribe to Robinhood Gold. But get this, now through April 30th, Robinhood is even boosting every single dollar you transfer in from other retirement accounts with a 3% match. That's right, no cap on the 3% match. Robinhood Gold gets you the most for your retirement thanks to their IRA with a 3% match. This offer is good through April 30th. Get started at robinhood.com/boost. Subscription fees apply. And now for some legal info. Claim as Q1 2024 validated by Radius Global Market Research. Investing involves risk, including loss. Limitations apply to IRAs and 401ks. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold for 1 year from the date of the first 3% match. Must keep Robinhood IRA for 5 years. The 3% matching on transfers is subject to specific terms and conditions. Robinhood IRA available to U.S. customers in good standing. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, is a registered broker-dealer. Locked On listeners, thank you so much for joining us here today on Locked On Patriots, and we thank my good friend, the Count of Murphy Fisto himself, the legendary Thomas Murphy, for joining us here today. And Locked On listeners, as you know, Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel, Locked On Sports Today. Baseball fans, mark your calendars for March 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern for the best MLB season preview coming exclusively to Locked On Sports Today. On March 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern, be the first to get the local insight from all of the MLB local experts of the Locked On Podcast Network. Find it on March 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Locked On Sports Today 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app. And of course, we continue to break down all of the great listener-submitted mock drafts right here on the Locked On Patriots podcast. And Murph, we've had a couple of interesting submissions today without any question. We've had one that started the conventional way, taking Drake Maye at number 3. Looks like it's going to be a normal draft, mixing in some trades. John Costy definitely channeled his inner Danny Ainge in the last segment and became Trader Johnny and really moved all over the board.
Legendary.
Still came away.
Legendary draft. It really was. And I only gave it a B.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to give him credit for the ingenuity. I love it. Whether or not it was based in reality, well, I think our grades kind of reflected that a little bit, but good submission with the tight end selection in round 6. Kind of gave it an extra plus, at least in my estimation. But Murph, we are not done yet because our good friend Jason Sullivan submits our final mock draft today. You can find him on Twitter, folks, at Sully6827. And he went kind of traditional on this one. The New England Patriots making some solid picks. See no trades here. Basic face value. Thought this was a good way to wrap things up today. But he has the Patriots going with Jaden Daniels at number 3.
All the rules.
He did. And you know what? We like to reward people that follow all the rules. And bottom line, he starts off with pick number 3, Jaden Daniels, quarterback out of LSU. Murph, I'll ask you, based on what you've heard the last couple of days, really kind of leading into today's show, and based on a lot of what we've seen, do you think there's still a chance that the Patriots come away with Jaden Daniels at number 3, or is that ship sailed?
I think this ship sailed. I think
Mm,
he's going to end up being a Washington Commander.
mm,
I don't think the Bears are going to be scared off at the number one pick not to go with Junior, and I think Daniels is going to end up in Washington.
mm,
So there's that. But if he's there, this could happen. It just not might not be the guy that they're looking for. And
mm.
if Jaden Daniels is there, look for the Patriots to trade out.
Mm, that's interesting. That is very interesting because some of the things that we're hearing out of a lot of the talking heads, and I don't just mean local talking head folks, I
Hmm.
mean national pundits that are on this say that the Patriots would gladly take Jaden
Yep.
Daniels if he's there at number 3 and they're not trading out of that number 3. So things are going to be interesting. I agree with you. I happen to think that Jaden will end up in Washington. I think the signing of Marcus Mariota, for lack of a better term, like I said earlier, kind of tipped their hand. But you
Right.
never know. Right up until the draft, things change. People's priorities change. Teams' priorities change. You never know. Someone could come knocking and take that pick away. So there's never a guarantee as to what's going to happen on draft night. Things get crazy, and I'm sure they will between now and the start of the draft. But at number 34, Sully has the Patriots taking your offensive tackle out of
Right.
Arizona, Jordan Morgan. How about the value here, Murph, as opposed to what you've seen the Patriots do at left tackle in our previous submissions today?
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic value pick right here. J.C. Latham might be there, Mims might be there. Um, more Jordan Morgan is just a mammoth individual that you're going to be able to put there at on the left side. He needs to get a little bit stronger, whether he's a tackle or some people are talking about guard. I still believe he's a tackle, but he has the athletic traits and to stay at that position and be very successful.
Mm, absolutely. I agree with you. And look, bottom line, the Patriots have a clear need at that position. And it looks like the need that they have, if they're going to fill that starting position, it's going to have to be at left tackle. Patriots are going to have to be very cautious and very careful as to who they want to bring in. You don't have a whole lot left on that free agent block right now, Murph, for a possible starting
No,
left tackle to come in. Tyron Smith is on his way to the Jets, Jets. That one hurt a little over the weekend. Not going to lie to you there, but bottom line, the Pats will need to fill that slot, and they do it here with Jordan Morgan at number 34. Number 68, once again, we've spoken about Jatavion Sanders, a tight end out of
right.
Texas, several times. You give him a couple of years tutelage from a guy like Hunter Henry. Yeah, I think this kid's well on his way to becoming that guy when Hunter is ready to move on. So I think that this would be a great pick, especially at 68. Again, I think he's going to go a little higher. I can see him climbing draft boards as things get closer.
Yep.
Down to 102, Jalen McMillan. We've talked about him already today, the wide receiver out of Washington. Then the latter third of this draft kind of gets interesting. You've got Kyrie Jackson, the cornerback out of Oregon, number 136. At number 179, Anthony Gould, wide receiver out of Oregon State, and Jalen Harrell out of the University of Michigan, edge rusher at number 231. Murph, of the names that I've just mentioned, again, anyone stand out to you as a potential diamond in the rough here for your New England Patriots?
Yeah, Gould. He's a
Mm,
good pass catcher. He has reliable hands. Um, he never seems to take his eye off the ball. He's really focused. I like it. I like it a lot.
mm, absolutely. I like Gould as well. He would have been my pick for Diamond in the Rough pick here as well, because I do think that, especially with the way the Patriots are set up at receiver, even though they've got a lot of bodies, he helps to fill a need that I don't think necessarily the Patriots have a whole lot of depth on right now. So ultimately, Sully goes the straight and narrow here and takes the picks as the Patriots are given. No trades on this one.
No.
Straight up, Murph, from 3 to number 231. It's grading time. Our good friend Jason Sullivan, do we keep him up on that Mount Rushmore? How did he do with his submission here this week?
Yeah, I'm going to give the plus on this one. This is a B plus draft.
Hmm.
He danced with the guys that brought him. He went 3 through 231, and I don't think he missed anywhere. Um, I think making a move up from 34 might have pushed him to an A. But like I said, the rules are to stay in 2024.
Hmm.
That's what we're looking for. But no, this is a solid B plus draft.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I also graded this one as a B plus. I like Jaden Daniels at 3. Again, folks, whether or not it's actually going to happen with the New England Patriots, we're still not sure. But you take the board as it lies. And bottom line, he did a very good job of filling the holes that were needed. I like Jordan Morgan at 34 and Jatavion Sanders at 68. So you hit 3 picks right off the bat, and all of a sudden you're doing pretty well. I think he did a pretty good job of filling some positions of need as well and backfilling. I would have liked to have seen maybe a safety mixed in here because I do
Yeah,
think
that would
that's a
have been
little bit
nice.
more of a sleeper need than the
Yeah.
Patriots have right now.
You want to push it from a B plus to an A, they Mike hit the nail on the head. Find me a center field.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if he did, I would probably go with an A on this draft because I think he filled all of the positions well. And I think he did it with admirable bodies that I think will be solid pros. Maybe
Yeah.
not this year, but eventually I think these guys will all be solid contributors at the pro level. So, bottom line, folks, what do you think? What was your favorite of the 3 mock drafts that we shared here
We know
today?
what everybody's favorite's going to be.
Murph and I would love to hear your thoughts. And we also thank each and every one of you for submitting a mock draft. Once again, folks, you never know when mock drafts are going to pop up here on Locked On Patriots. They could pop up at any point
Yeah.
during the week. But one thing I can guarantee you is we're always going to be honored and grateful to the contributions of our good friend here, the Count of Murphy Fisto himself. Murph, thank you so much for joining us here today, lending your wisdom and counsel the way only you can and helping us sift through all of the great mock drafts that we receive from our listeners. Make sure to follow Murph at TMurph207 for all the very latest, not just on the New England Patriots, but also the great coverage that he provides for the Boston Red Sox for diehardbostonsportsfans.com. In the meantime, I am your host, Mike Debate, and I remind you all to stay safe and to stay well and to be the change that you wish to see in the world. And a very special tip of the cap to Caveman Curtis, to John Costy, and to Jason Sullivan for your
Big
great
job.
submissions. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow on Locked On Patriots.